نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون. The brothers of Yusuf Alayhis Salaam went to their father and they asked their father that, "Oh father, what is wrong with you? You do not trust us over Yusuf Alayhis Salaam, whereas we are his well-wishers. Send him tomorrow with us and we will go and play a little bit, eat and drink, enjoy ourselves, and definitely we will look after Yusuf Alayhis Salaam." So yesterday in a bit of detail we discussed the masail regarding playing and certain conditions which the ulama have mentioned when it is permissible for a person to play and what conditions they are. So anyhow, Yaqoob Alayhis Salaam said that it grieves me that you people take him and go away with him. This will create a lot of grief in my heart that I will miss Yusuf Alayhis Salaam and being separated from him. And the second thing is, وَأَخَافُ يَأْكُلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, I fear that a wolf maybe might come and eat him whilst you people are unmindful of him. So they said to Yaqoob Alayhis Salaam, لَإِنْ أَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, if a wolf has to eat him up and we are such a big jamaat, such a strong jamaat, so then we are definitely the people who are in a great loss. It's such a great person, so many of us there are, and these people are the wolf comes and eats him up and we can't protect him, and there's something wrong with us. So anyhow, here the ulama have mentioned that Yaqoob Alayhis Salaam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him either that what you call firasat, comes in a hadith, ittaqu firasat al-mu'min fa innahu yanzuru bi nurillah. Beware of the firasat and the understanding of a true believer, because he is looking with the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a person this firasat, this understanding, Yaqoob Alayhis Salaam said, I fear that the wolf will eat him up. They say that in the kitabs it is mentioned that there are many people who have a lot of firasat. For example, the Aziz of Misr, which we'll read later on, when he saw Yusuf Alayhis Salaam, immediately he recognized this is a great person of great qualities. So then he told his wife, they look after this person here, we will definitely get some benefit from him. So he was a person who already in the future he had seen the benefit. Similarly, Fir'aun's wife, when she saw Moosa Alayhis Salaam, she said, Asa yanfa'ana wa nattakhidha walada, perhaps we will take some benefit from him, or he will benefit us, we will take him as a child. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu's firasat, when he appointed Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu as a Khalifa after him, and Islam became extremely strong by the coming of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. So this was the firasat. So these are three amazing incidents which happened. Others, they also mentioned that Shu'aib Alayhis Salaam's daughter, when she saw Moosa Alayhis Salaam, she told her father, Innahu qawiyyun ameen, he's a very strong person and he's an amanatdar and a trustworthy person. That what a pure person this Moosa Alayhis Salaam is, how much of strength he's got, and he will be able to fulfill his fara'is, his duties and responsibilities, and he won't cause taklif and difficulty to other people. So in a few words she told her father. Similarly, Khadija radiallahu anha, when she recognized Nabi Alayhis Salaam, that I must get married to this person here, and it looks like he's got a very great future. And that time Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam wasn't a Nabi. 15 years before he got Nabuwat, Khadija radiallahu anha got married to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anyhow, there are many incidents mentioned of the firasat, as a person gets taqwa and a fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his life. And this also is a gift from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that a person gets this firasat. So there's some amazing stories mentioned about the firasat and the understanding of believers. Once Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, one woman came to him and she said, "Oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, my husband the whole night he reads tahajjud namaz and the whole day he fasts." So she said this and she went away. So people were surprised. This woman has come here, she's praised her husband and she went away. So this actually wasn't Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, there was another Sahabi radiallahu anhu there, that he told Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu that, you know what, this woman has come with a complaint. So they said, what do you mean she's come with a complaint? She's saying her husband is such a pious person, he reads namaz the whole day, tahajjud namaz the whole night, he's fasting every day. So he said, no, what she's trying to tell you is, she can't tell you, but her husband is not fulfilling her rights. So Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu was surprised at his firasat, his understanding. So he sent for that lady and he asked her, are you laying a complaint about your husband? So she said, yes, I'm complaining about my husband. So then Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, he told that same person, okay, that you make the decision, because you understood the whole masala and the whole case. So then he called the husband and told the husband, you know what, 3 nights you must give me, but you read your tahajjud namaz, you be particular whole night you make ibadat, but 1 night you give to your wife. 3 days you fast, 1 day you don't fast. So then they were surprised at his decision also. So he said, how did you make such a decision? So he said, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed one man to have 4 wives. So this means that a person, every night, while the wife has got a right, every 4 nights she's got a right over her husband. That is why I allowed him for 3 nights he can spend in ibadat and worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and 1 night he must come home and he must spend it with his wife, so he must give her right. He only got 1 wife here, he must fulfill her right here. So Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu had this firasit understanding of this person. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu made him the qadi of a certain place. He said, you're worthy to be a qadi, a judge. And he sent him to a certain place and he made him the qadi there. Once it happened to Qadi Ayah rahmatullahi alayhi, a very famous qadi also. Allah Ta'ala also given him very great understanding and firasat. So one person came to him with a court case. He said one person had given another person some money, and this person said, okay, I return the money back to him. And the person who gave the money said, he never returned the money back to me. So now the Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu asked, okay, when you return the money, have you got any proof? Did you write down anything? Was there any witnesses to see you? So the person said, I got no witnesses. I had the money. He came to me. He asked me for the money. So I had the money with me in my house and I gave it back to him. Now he's denying that I gave him back the money. So Kajee Saheb asked him, so because you got no witnesses, now what am I going to do now? How are we going to understand the reality? So then he asked the person, okay, where did you give him the money? He said, by a certain tree I gave him the money. So Kajee Saheb told him, you know what, perhaps you dropped that money while you're going to the tree, or it's somewhere close by. So why don't you go to the tree and go look for that money and check up? And then told the other person, you wait here until that person goes and checks up. So the person was waiting. So while he's going, he went to look for the tree. So then the Kajee Saheb asked him after about 5 minutes or so, do you think he's reached the tree by now? So the person said, no, I don't think he's reached there. It should take about 10 minutes. So then the Kajee Saheb said, so it shows you are lying. Because how you know about the tree? You said that he didn't give him the money back. Now exactly you're telling me that he's about 10 minutes away from the tree. That means you know exactly where the tree is. So that means you are a liar. So when the person came back, then he forced him to, he told him that the case has gone thrown out of court now, because this person has definitely spoken lies. An incident he mentioned of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi. One day one lady came to him. And she came to him and she gave him one apple. And the apple was slightly red. So Imam Hanifa rahmatullahi was sitting and there were all men around. So Imam Hanifa rahmatullahi, he didn't wake up from there. So anyhow, he just took the apple and he cut it and he sent it back to the woman. So the whole day his students were sitting now and wondering, now what did Imam Hanifa rahmatullahi do? They couldn't understand. And he cut the apple and he sent it back. So eventually I said, we can't understand this here. He said, this woman came, but she was very shy. She wanted to ask you one masala of haiz. And what the masala she was asking, because there were many men here, so she felt shy. So she sent me an apple. The apple was slightly red. It was just like a small dots of red on it. So she was asking me that a woman, will she become pure just by having a few drops of blood coming out? Does she become pure by the day? She's not bleeding fully, but there's still drops coming out. So I cut the apple in half and I sent it back to her completely white. And I said, as long as you don't get full white, your haiz hasn't come to an end, your menses hasn't come to an end. In this way, I answered her. So there's also the firasit understanding of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi. And one other final incident is mentioned here, that Junaid Baghdadi rahmatullahi, one day one person came to him, and a youngster wearing an amama, a turban. He was wearing he had a long beard also, jubba, a kurta. He was saying, Hazrat, I've come to ask you regarding one hadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, which hadith you want to ask me about? He said, this hadith, ittaqu firasat al-mu'min fa innahu yanzuru bi nurillah. Beware of the understanding of a believer, because he looks for the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So explain to me this hadith. So he told him that this hadith actually means that you're a Christian person. Why don't you read kalima and become a Muslim? So this person got a bit shocked. And then he said, you know what? You definitely are speaking the truth. I am a Christian person. And the Christians, they made me wear the Muslim people's clothing and send you to you and ask you the meaning of this hadith. And when you will say that this hadith is this, I will say that I can see that you don't even have a slightest amount of firasat and understanding. You haven't recognized me, whether I am a Muslim or a kafir and disbeliever. And anyhow, because of this life which Allah Ta'ala granted him, so as a person gets more taqwa in his life also, then, and it's also a gift from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can actually make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah grant me firasat, grant me understanding, because really this, a person is able to differentiate between the truth and the falsehood, and the more taqwa a person generally gets in his life, the more understanding Allah Ta'ala grants to a person. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu was really blessed with this quality. Many of the decisions which Umar radiallahu anhu, even in the time of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, he actually said that there is something called the muwafaqat Umar, which comes in the hadith. kitabs, where Umar radiallahu anhu said a certain thing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala eventually sent wahi and revelation confirming the decision of Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu. So this is the understanding which Allah ta'ala granted to him, and this also, as I mentioned, comes through sacrifice, qurbani, and through taqwa which a person has in his heart, and Allah ta'ala grants to a person. May Allah ta'ala give us this quality also. SubhanAllah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah.